God.
Yeah, and I actually almost agree with you. So the miracle of the Quran is that Muhammad is like illiterate, but he gets all these things right? And I don't want to talk about the theology that he gets right or, morals that he gets right. I want to talk about the stories of the prophets, because the Quran is 6,000 plus verses, and it contains 1,100 verses about stories of the prophets. That's a whole 1/6 of the Quran, meaning if he gets any of those 1/6 of the Quran stories wrong, then he's not a prophet, right? And so, for example, in 12 verse 3, this is the chapter of Joseph, right? Allah is saying, before this, Muhammad, you didn't know anything about the story of Joseph. And he reveals 98 verses in detail about Joseph. And he closes this chapter in verse 111 by saying, this is a confirmation of the previous scriptures and a detailed explanation of all things. So it's a confirmation also in its details. And so I read the 98 verses, but then when I go and I search the Torah's version of Joseph, I find incredible amounts of differences, and they're irreconcilable too. Sometimes it's like, oh, maybe he was this age, and they're irreconcilable. And there's 944 differences just in those 98 verses of Joseph. And to me, that's really hard to reconcile. And the only reason Muhammad would be a true prophet revealing the correct Quran is that if the Quran's account of the prophets do match up, and you probably know verse 10, verse 94.
Yes, I do.
It says, if you're in doubt, go and read, or go and ask
those who read the scriptures before you.
Exactly. And the context of that is right before, it's stories of Moses, Noah, Moses, Aaron, Noah, other prophets, and then when the Israelites settling in the promised land, all these things, which are all stories you can find in the Old Testament. And so if the people in the 7th century are in doubt that Muhammad's revealing all these stories of the prophets, they have to go and read the previous scripture. And so when we go and look at not only the 7th century text, but the Dead Sea Scrolls from the 250s and the 1st century, and not even extra biblical texts, right? You have Philo of Alexandria. He's a Greek philosopher, no motive for religion. You have the Roman historian Josephus, and then you have the Codex Alexandrinus, Syriac Peshitta, in Syriac, Greek, Latin, all these different languages, all talking about the same story of Joseph way before Muhammad's time. Okay. Muhammad comes with 98 verses of complete contradictions.